Today, we're going to break down a pretty provocative idea about what it means to be a man, and it comes from the YouTube channel The Alpha Path. Now, this perspective, it definitely challenges a lot of modern thinking. So let's get into the source material and see what it's really all about. Right off the bat, the source material hits you with this. It's a powerful hook, right? It takes this word, dangerous, which we usually see as a negative, and flips it on its head, suggesting it's not just good, it's essential. And that, of course, is the big question. We're not talking about promoting chaos or hurting people. According to the source, it's about reclaiming a very, very specific definition of that word. So let's unpack what the Alpha Path is actually saying here. Okay, so to really get the solution they're proposing, we first have to understand the problem as they see it. The source paints this picture of a culture that it claims is obsessed with comfort and compliance, and it's left a lot of men feeling kind of lost without any real purpose or strength. So here's the core of their diagnosis. The claim is that our society increasingly wants things to be easy, for people to just go along to get along. And in that kind of environment, a man who stands firm on his principles, who won't just bend, well, he starts to look less like a leader and more like a threat. So how do we get from that problem to this idea of being dangerous? Well, this next part is really the key to the whole argument. We're about to get the specific definition that separates this idea from all those negative things you might be thinking of. And there it is. For the Alpha Path, being dangerous isn't about being out of control. It's the exact opposite. It's about having immense capability, but keeping it totally disciplined. It's about being the calm in the storm, the person who can think clearly and act when everyone else is falling apart. It's potential force perfectly harnessed. You've really got to see the contrasts they're drawing here. On one side, you have the misconception of danger, just pure recklessness, rage, impulse. But on the other side, you have the ideal they're pushing for, a man who is composed, highly capable, and totally grounded in his beliefs. So, what does this guy actually look like? Well, according to the source, he's got a calm presence. He doesn't need to be loud or intimidating to command respect. He speaks the truth, even when it's hard. He can't be easily manipulated. And fundamentally, his compass is set to a higher moral standard, which makes him really difficult to control with just social pressure. Okay, so we've covered the what. Now let's get into the how. The source lays out a really practical two-part path to build this kind of controlled power. And it's a battle on two fronts, the physical and the internal. This quote right here, it perfectly sums up the whole philosophy. It's all about duality. You need to be intellectually and spiritually sharp, but at the same time, physically formidable. The idea is that one without the other just leaves you incomplete. First up, the body. The argument here is that simply knowing how to physically handle yourself, through something like martial arts, it changes your whole vibe. It builds a quiet confidence. And then there's lifting heavy, pushing your physical limits, not just to get strong, but to build that mental grit that only comes from doing really hard things. Now for the other side of the coin, training the soul. The source breaks this down into 5 key things. 1, master your own mind. You got to cut out the constant noise to actually hear yourself think. 2, read real books, history, philosophy, leadership. 3, build small daily disciplines. Get up early, make your bed. 4, actively seek out discomfort. Go do things that are hard on purpose. And 5, and this is a big one, find your tribe. Surround yourself with other men who are going to push you and hold you accountable. And that brings us to maybe the most important part of this whole idea, the purpose. Why do all this? Why go through this struggle? According to the source, it's not for you. It's not about ego. It's about becoming strong for something, for someone other than yourself. To frame this purpose, the source material leans on scripture. This first quote from Psalm 144, it positions this readiness for battle not as simple aggression, but as a kind of divinely guided training, suggesting this strength is meant for a higher calling. This next one, from 2 Samuel, makes the connection even clearer. It's a call to be strong, yes, but to fight bravely for your people, for your community. It really highlights this theme of being a protector. And this final quote from Isaiah, well, it brings the whole point home. It lays it out plain and simple. The whole reason for this strength, this capability, is to serve and protect the most vulnerable people in society. So when you put it all together, the dangerous man isn't a threat to society. He's a threat to injustice. His power isn't for himself. It's a tool to be used for others, to stand in the gap for those who can't stand up for themselves. And that leaves us with the final question the source poses. After redefining dangerous as this controlled power used for service and protection, you have to ask yourself, is this a quality we're missing today? Is this something the world actually needs more of?